Hello, my lovely wolf pack, and welcome back to the Lone Wolf Show, brought to you by Wolfpack Media, the most entertaining place on YouTube for your news and commentary. I'm your host, Justin Huseman, founder and news contributor. We have a great show today, and I can't wait to get started. But before we do, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Join the pack today. So, my friends, um, this week, in a major move from the Trump administration, the president has signed an executive order to lower prices on prescription drugs. So you might be asking yourself, well, what do the Democrats think about this, considering they're usually in the position of like free healthcare and all that? You'd think they would love this, but of course, it's Trump who's doing it, so they're against it now. They have unilaterally changed their minds on the whole lower drug cost things. You would think the left would be cheering this on, but instead they're calling him a communist. I guess. I guess he's a communist for trying to lower drug prices. Go figure, right? But it just further makes my point that these are not fucking serious people, dude. They stand for nothing. The only thing the left stands for is hating Trump. They have no cohesive policies whatsoever, are even just a cohesive stance on anything. Um other than just like, orange man bad, hating Trump. That's their policy. Hate on Trump, hate white people, hate you know Christians, hate Republicans or anybody conservative as a whole, or anybody who steps slightly from the left. Like, you can't even be like in the middle anymore, because the left will call you right wing no matter what you say. Even people that I would consider probably a little bit more left leaning, the far left would call them right wing. So no moderation, no leadership, and that's what I think's going on here. And once again, but let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. If I can pull this article up. Here we go. From NBC News, Trump signs executive order that aims to slash drug prices by at least 50%. That'd be a nice little dip, bro. Like, I don't understand this. Like, for real. What is the problem here? Like, lots of people need drugs. Like, what about people that need, like, insulin, bro? Like, could you imagine if if the price for it was just slashed in half? Like, that would be a wonderful thing for the American people. But, of course, everything that Trump does, even if it's good, the left has to stand against it because it's Trump, I guess. These people are just insane, in my opinion. Anyway, we'll read here. Um, President Donald Trump signed a sweeping executive order Monday that aims to cut prescription drug costs in the U.S. by aligning what the government pays for certain medications to the prices paid in other countries. Completely reasonable, you would think. Um, the order, experts say, is a reimagined and far more aggressive version of Trump's policy during his first term to cut drug costs, which failed to take effect after a federal judge blocked it. And I will say, I think that's exactly what's happening this time around too for his second term. Anyway, the like the original policy, health policy experts expect it will meet significant pushback from the drug industry. No shit. The drug industry isn't going to like that. The new order directs Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to come up with price-cutting goals within 30 days. White House officials said on a call Monday the move will kick off a round of negotiations between Kennedy and the drug industry. Should talks stall, Kennedy will move to enforce the most favored nation pricing model. Most favored nation pricing model, that's what they're calling it, capping the U.S. prices at the lowest rates paid by other wealthy nations. Most notably, officials said the policy will not be limited to certain drugs under Medicare, as it was in original version, but will also target medications covered by Medicaid and private insurance companies. I'm doing this for the American people, Trump said at the White House discussing the executive order. I'm doing this against the most powerful lobby in the world, probably, the drug lobby. Hell yeah, man. Fight, fight, fight. The administration hasn't singled out a specific class of drugs for price cuts, but officials said it's fair to expect. I'm so blind, I can't read this. Sorry, guys, I'm blind. But officials said it's fair to expect that the GLP-1s class of drugs that includes Ozempic, what's that called? Wegovy, and Zepbound will be included among them. Last month, the administration rejected a Biden-era proposal for Medicare to cover weight loss drugs. The move would have saved patients money, but cost the government about $25 billion over 10 years. Yeah. The Food and Drug Administration will also consider expanding the importation of prescription drugs from countries beyond Canada, where prices are often cheaper than in the U.S., officials said. And the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission will be directed to act against anti-competitive actions by drug makers that they say keep drug prices high. Yeah, dude, this whole system doesn't work unless we have a competitive market. It's time these like it seems like all the drug companies are basically in cahoots with each other. They got like this cartel style fucking form of working together, and that's not what capitalism is about, man. Capitalism is about making money, but it needs to be people making money in a competitive market, which means they have to be competing with each other. They can't be working together. Now, there's companies that like have mergers and they'll merge together into one, and I guess that's fine. But yeah, how hostile takeovers and all that, but that's fine. But I think it's a really dirty game when it's just like, let's all just band together and fuck over the American people by charging up them up the ass for medication that, quite frankly, is probably keeping you sick anyway. So it's kind of just like this cycle of fucking destruction, and I think it's really bad for us. Anyway, I'll read on. Prescription drug prices are notoriously high in the U.S. Although the country makes up less than 5% of the global population, it accounts for nearly 3/4 of global pharmaceutical profits. Officials said Monday. Officials said Monday. Sorry, guys. I'm having some allergies today. My throat's a little sore. According to the RAND Corporation, a public policy think tank, Americans pay up to 10 times more for medications than people in other similarly wealthy nations. The U.S. spends $1,126 per capita on drugs, a fifth of what Britain spends, Kennedy said, adding that the U.S. is no longer stabilizing other countries. Americans often pay more than other nations, helping drug makers recoup on research and development costs. I don't know, guys. Dirty, dirty games. While experts backed Trump's approach, the questioned how the administration would legally pursue price reductions for drugs under private insurance. They also worried about its ability to withstand legal pushback from the drug industry. Yeah, this is the problem that we're gonna run into with a lot of this shit, man. A lot of this shit is just like it's going to court, and I feel like by the time these 4 years is up, fucking because of these asshole court proceedings, Trump's not gonna get anything done, and we're just gonna be left to be like, fuck. I guess that just means we got to push really hard when it comes to election season in 2028. Get that JD Vance ticket, y'all. But yeah, anyway, what am I doing here? What am I reading? Here I am. I lost my place. If this touches all drugs for all people, it's far more ambitious, but the ripple effects are far more uncertain, said Tricia Newman, executive director for the program on Medicare policy at KFF, a health policy research group. I would expect the drug industry to throw every legal argument at this proposal. Arthur Kaplan, the head of the medical ethics division at NYU. Yeah, this is kind of just blah, blah, blah stuff. Boring, boring. In a Truth Social post on Sunday, Trump claimed that prescription drug costs would be reduced almost immediately by 30 to 80%, and that the U.S. will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price anywhere in the world. Hell yeah. And why is that? Like, who's arguing against this other than the drug companies, obviously, which I think they should fuck off too, because it's like, you guys should be in the drug business to like help people, but it's just become nothing but a fucking money laundering operation for very shady people. Da 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 da. Lowest person anywhere in the world. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Like I was saying, I don't think that's a big ask. In a follow-up post Monday, Trump said drug prices would be cut by 59%. At the White House later Monday, Trump claimed drug prices would be reduced by 50 to 90%. Okay. Kaplan said immediate relief would be great, but argued it's impossible for the U.S. to achieve the lowest prices in the world. And why? Why? Okay. We are not going to get the price paid by South Africa, Peru, Egypt, Bolivia, and Laos, Kaplan said. Why? Why not? Drug companies usually give whopping discounts to very poor countries on humanitarian grounds that won't give rich countries. The prices paid in the poorest nations have no chance of being the price paid by the Trump administration. Well, yeah, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying, like, we're going to be paying less than China and Russia and Europe, all these like wealthier countries. You know what I'm saying? I think that we'll pay the lowest price out of all the other wealthy countries. Is that, at least that's what I was interpreting by what he was saying. That's the way I was interpreting it, but maybe I'm just fucking biased. More shit. Worried about policy might harm doctors and pharmacies. Price cuts were immediate. Like, what? I don't care. A bunch of blah, blah, blah-de-dee blah. Let's see here. On Monday's call, an official appeared to clarify Trump's Sunday remarks, saying that drug makers are expected to be coming to the table very soon and that the administration anticipates action and relief very soon. Well, officials didn't say how this would affect the ongoing Medicare drug pricing negotiations, a policy signed into law by President Joe Biden through the Inflation Reduction Act, which was a fucking disaster. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of blah blah, fucking technical garbly gook, and I won't bore you guys with that. So we'll just move on to this next story here. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I think it's important as it pertains to what we're kind of talking about here. Yesterday, HHS Secretary RFK testified before the Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, facing questions about vaccines, measles, and cuts to biomedical research. All right, so I watched this, and it was actually pretty interesting, but let's go ahead and take a look at this article that I have pulled up. From NPR, RFK Jr. stands by deep cuts to health budget during contentious hearings. Yeah, I don't think that was the only committee that he was testifying in front of either. I believe he was also testifying before, I don't know, maybe it'll say in this article here. Let's look. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that Elon Musk's Doge effort drew up the blueprint for spending cuts that were reshaping the Department of Health and Human Services. And Kennedy and his team implemented them. Kennedy also said he pushed back on some cuts and has reinstated a few programs cut mistakenly. Kennedy faced hours of questioning Wednesday in two congressional committee hearings. Yeah, it was two of them. So one in the House Appropriations Committee, that's what it was, and one in the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee. I just said that. The official topic was President Trump's budget for fiscal year 2026, but many other issues came up, including the autism research Kennedy has launched, the measles outbreak in West Texas, and the massive overhaul of HHS, where 20,000 employees have been fired or taken a buyout or early retirement. Fuck them. That's what I say. Anyway, in general, Kennedy stood behind the huge sweeping changes to his agency, though he has backtracked slightly on a case-by-case basis. Otherwise, he is staying the course with Trump's plans to cut billions more from the HHS budget, which Kennedy acknowledged will be painful. Well, no shit. And this is what I've been trying to explain to people, man. Like, yeah, this shit's gonna fucking hurt a little at first. But we really need to be thinking in the long run. I hate how people are so short-sighted sometimes. We have to be looking at the bigger picture here, guys. That's just my opinion. Don't listen to me. I'm just a guy that bitches on the internet. I'll read on here. In an exchange with Representative Rosa DeLauro, a Democrat of Connecticut, the ranking member on the House Appropriations Committee, Kennedy said, "You have the power of the purse," referring to the House of Representatives. DeLauro responded, "Thank you," and went on to say that Kennedy and the Trump administration are illegally impounding funds appropriated by Congress this year. You don't have the authority, she said. Okay. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, these people are evil. Like, they sit there and talk about it like it's their motherfucking money. Listen, Representative Rosa DeLauro, it's not your money. You don't have the authority. The only authority that you have is appropriated to you by we the people of the United States of America, dude. Like, these people are so focused on just keeping this money train going when it doesn't have to be like this. And anybody that's going to sit there and try to argue with me that it does have to be like this, that they can just like keep taxing the ever-living shit out of us and keep raising it. Like, you realize that like every year, like, taxes gets raised, right? Like, over the past couple of decades, it's just like gone up and up and up. And this is some bullshit thing that they came up with during World War II to pay for the war effort. It was supposed to be temporary. And here we fucking are, like a bunch of fucking retards. Ugh. And then we got people like this, these fucking dinosaurs, sitting in the halls of our Congress, going, twirling their fucking mustaches, going, hoo-hoo, you do not have the authority, Mr. Kennedy. They're like petting a white cat. like ho ho ho, this is, we are the authority here, like, respect my authority. Like, fuck these motherfuckers, dude. They are fucking so asinine. They sit there on Capitol Hill and act like it's their money. Like, it's not your money, it's the American people's money, bro. And they're trying to save us a bunch of money, like a bunch of shit that, like, either A, could be spent on something that we actually need, or B, like, you know, you just wouldn't, you could lower taxes. Like, or maybe get rid of certain taxes altogether, like tax on tips, fucking, and all that other shit that he want, or no tax on Social Security. Like, these cuts need to happen, and they need to happen now. And I'm sick of anybody fucking sitting around telling us that we shouldn't be cutting shit to save taxes. Like, so stupid. Like, anybody that's saying that we shouldn't be cutting, like, wasteful things is a moron, dude. Like, it's like setting money on fire, and for no other reason than to warm the bottoms of these fucking assholes sitting in their ivory tower in Washington, D.C. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry, guys. This shit gets me mad. Where was I? Question from Republicans on the panels had a gentler tone, but even the chair of the Senate Help Committee, Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican of Louisiana, I believe, urged Kennedy to work with Congress more. The department needs to have an effective plan to fulfill statutory duties in tandem with its effort to increase transparency and accountability, streamline programs, and root out wasteful spending. Cassidy, who is also a physician, said in his opening statement, Congress and the administration should work together to ensure reforms strike the right balance and deliver for the American people. I think the only balance should be for the American people. Like, I don't give a shit about anybody out here making money, man. Uh, Protesters interrupted the beginning of the Senate hearing, yelling, RFK kills people with AIDS. What? What did they say? RFK kills people with AIDS? Bro, I'm sorry I shouldn't be laughing at that, but it's just so random. It's so fucking random. They were quickly removed by police officers and the hearing continued. Why did they add that random little bit of information there? What the fuck? That was random as hell. The comments about Musk came in an exchange with Rep. Steny Hoyer, Democrat of Maryland, in the House hearing. Who made those decisions? You or Musk? Hoyer asked. Kennedy said that he worked with Musk's team but had an ability to override things. He mentioned preventing the Head Start early education program from being cut, for example. At times, Kennedy seemed fuzzy on the specifics of what actually was cut as lawmakers asked him about details. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's enough of that, I think. But because we are running low on time, but I will tell you guys, go watch that the testimony of RFK Jr. You can find it all over X. I believe they have the whole entire video somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, I'd encourage you guys to go check that out. But we'll leave it there. We will be back later tonight, so don't forget to hit that like button. You can follow us on X and Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube at Wolfpack Media 92. And we will see you guys in a little bit. Peace.